Well, welcome in once again, everybody. Glad to have you with us today on another edition of the New Vegas SANDTRAP right here on Facebook Live. I'm your host, Dennis Silvers. And of course, we're coming to you live from the fabulous Rigel Studios right here in the entertainment capital of the world, and that would be Las Vegas, Nevada. We're just kind of a chip shot away from the world famous Las Vegas Strip, and we're so happy to have you in. We've got a wonderful show planned for you today because we got a super guest, a good friend of mine, and you're really going to enjoy him. Little housekeeping, don't forget the show is being brought to you by the Allergy Care Centers of Southern Nevada, where it's a simple 1, 2, 3 procedures to literally start brushing your teeth and get rid of your allergies. Amazing. Also brought to you by the best damn golf app in the business called Swing U. You can download them for free, swingu.com, where you'll have GPS, you'll have golf information, you'll have group lessons, private lessons. It's unbelievable. So like they say, own your game. Go to swingu.com. Don't forget, we'd love to hear from you. You can get me by email, and it's simply golfgurulv@gmail.com. Follow me at Twitter at 19th hole, also on Instagram and LV Golf Guru, and of course Facebook at Dennis Silver / the New Vegas SANDTRAP. And we hope to hear from you. Get in touch with us. You want to see some guests on the show? You got any comments? You got any criticisms? You want to send me money if you need an address? I mean, it's all good. So we'd love to hear from you. Anyway, let's bring our guest on board. I'll tell you a little bit about our guest, Monty Scheinblum. Monty is a former tour player. He was on the Nike Tour way back when, now known as the Web.com Tour, of course. Monty is a 2-time world long drive champion. He's just can really hit the ball. Could still hit it pretty good today. I know that from personal experience. Monty is a wonderful teacher in Southern California. We're going to have him tell you about a little bit about the facility that he teaches at, and just a terrific guy. Knows a hell of a lot about the golf swing. So you are going to enjoy listening to Monty Scheinblum. Monty, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for coming on the show, my friend.
Well, thanks for having me. I wish I had as fancy a studio as you do there.
Oh, that's okay. I love your kitchen. I love your kitchen. Just don't start eating a sandwich during the show. You know what I mean? That might screw things up.
I'm barely understandable without any food in my mouth.
Okay. All right. Let me start off and kick it off this way, Monty. I put golf teachers or golf coaches basically into 2 categories, and that is those who go by the KISS rule, which I like, which means keep it simple, stupid, and those who are a lot more technical, say like a Ledbetter, a Dean Rymeth, even a Jim McLean to some degree. I think from watching you and all your great videos on YouTube, Monty, that you keep it simple. You like to keep it simple. Am I wrong or not?
No, I agree. My philosophy is I want to go out and learn everything I can, all the technical details, all the 3D information, all the risk graph information, all of the latest information that's out there. No matter how technical, I want to take it in. Then that makes it easier for me to look at someone's golf swing and say, look, just do this one thing a little bit better, and things will start to line up.
Okay, so let's go back a little bit. Who first got you interested in golf? I know your dad was a professional baseball player, if I'm not mistaken, I think for the Reds.
Yep.
But who got you interested in golf, and who did you learn golf from? Who did you develop your particular swing philosophy from, Monty?
He was a Major League Baseball player. I just went out and whacked balls. They handed me a club. They said, hit it as far that way as you can, get it in that hole down there. And just through trial and error, I could. And, as I became a Nike Tour player, a Web.com player, and kept missing at the second stage of the Q school, I sought out some of the big name teachers, and I didn't get what I wanted. So the way I developed my teaching philosophy was not off of any current instructor. I quite literally took a year off from the game and watched, I don't know how many thousands of golf swings from on YouTube, from the all-time greats to the current tour players to, I used to put worst golf swing, terrible golf swing, those kind of buzzwords into YouTube because I wanted to see the hackers too. And then I spent another year going to the range and swinging incorrectly on purpose and filming it and see what the actual causes of swing faults were and what the possible solutions to those faults were, instead of just towing the company line that's been around for 100 years.
Right. Right. No, well, that makes perfect sense. That's very interesting. And speaking of that, Monty, I've gotten into some very interesting discussions with some of the other top instructors like yourself that I have had on. And as I mentioned, I think you do a really great job on the stuff you have on YouTube. But as you know, there's some fairly prominent golf teachers that are offering lessons online. My question to you is, can a guy really, or a woman, or a gal really learn to play golf online, Monty?
Well, I hope this doesn't come off as terrible as it sounds in my head, but you're better off getting an online lesson, sending your videos to an instructor that knows what he's talking about, that's going to point you in the right direction, than having an in-person lesson with someone who's not so knowledgeable and not so good at their craft, so to speak.
Yeah.
Obviously, in-person is what you want.
Right.
But quite honestly, I have a lot of people sending me online lessons because they're just not happy with the information they're getting from some of their local pros. So, I agree that it's not ideal. Being hands-on, being there in person is much, much better, but you're better off getting, online advice from someone that knows what they're doing.
Monty, I got to be honest with you. I have tried that a couple of times. I've had somebody who videotaped my swing. I've sent it in to a few of these instructors, and they have sent it right back with a note saying, Dennis, your swing sucks so bad, you should try bowling. So, but I'm staying with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the homemade swing wins a lot of money from the pretty swings that can't hit it.
Yeah, that's true. Monty, let me ask you, what's the best trait you feel an instructor should have and why? And I'm sitting here and I've got what I think your answer will be written down. So let's see if it's the same as I've got.
Well, to me, it's hard to pin down one, but if I had to be pinned down to one, I'd say adaptability. You need to adapt your information and your knowledge to the individual, and not just their golf swing, their learning style, the way they hear information. You might have someone that's a visual learner that will do better if they see me hit a golf ball in the way that I'm telling them. You have other people that are auditory learners that if you tell them what you want from them, they'll give it to you. And you have to, look at the individual's golf swing and say, okay, this particular move that I like to see isn't going to work with this player's, physique or physical limitation from an injury or whatnot. So I think that, the most important thing is if you don't have the ability to adapt quickly to the person in front of you, you're going to struggle.
Yeah, well, you kind of surprised me, and I like your answer, adaptability. I thought sure as hell you were going to say communication, because that's what everybody says, right?
True. And that kind of went along with what I said. you need to be able to communicate the information to the person in front of you correctly. So, I mean, it's just communication is just another way of saying what I said. So I agree.
Okay. All right. Last question before we take a break, Monty, and come back with you. Having played professionally for years on tour, what do you feel that brings to the table as far as instructing your students? Unless, of course, you're trying to teach them to swing the way you do. But what, from that experience, how do they benefit from that?
Well, a lot of people want to hit the ball farther. They come, oh, you're a world long drive champion. Teach me to swing like you. And I said, well, that's not going to work for you because that's my swing, not yours. So I don't teach people what I do at all. But here's what I feel it brings. I have a practical understanding of not only the process of getting better, but the pitfalls of going in the wrong direction. If you take someone with a world of knowledge about the swing and they don't understand the practical use of that information, it's not going to be as good as coming from someone who actually has a practical understanding of how to put that information into play.
Right. I agree with you totally. All right, Monty, stay with us. We're going to step away and take a short break. And before we get into our commercials, it's time for Dr. Nick Molinaro and the Golfer's Mental Minute. We'll see you right on the other side of the break.
Welcome to the Golfer's Mental Minute. Vision takes up approximately 50% of the brain. When putting, make sure that after you've looked at the hole and you bring your attention back to the back of the ball, that you're over the ball for 2 seconds. No less than 2 seconds and no more than 3. The difference in putts made of 3 foot from 1.5 to 2 seconds over the ball is very significant. It takes approximately 2 seconds for your brain to reestablish itself after looking at the target. Continue to use your breathing, looking at the back of the ball, and make sure that you bring your attention from the flag back to the back of the ball and over it for 2 seconds before you pull the trigger. I'm Dr. Nick Molinaro for the new Vegas SANDTRAP.
Let's face it, if you're a golfer, you have lots of choices. Choices in equipment, choices in golf balls, and choices in the golf course you play. But if you're a golfer interested in joining a private golf club, well, you really but have only one choice, and that's the Tournament Players Club in Summerlin. Why TPC Summerlin? Simple. One of the most established private clubs practicing exceptional member services in Southern Nevada. TPC Summerlin has earned the reputation of providing its members with an award-winning golf course, home to the Shriners Hospital Tour event, a tour-quality practice facility, and a food and beverage department that is second to none, and an award-winning pro shop. Call TPC Summerlin at 702-256-0222.
If you play golf, chances are you've made a fairly sizable investment buying your golf clubs. So why take a chance on having your clubs damaged or even broken on the way to your next round of golf? Here's the perfect solution, known as the golf cradle. Using the golf cradle elevates the open end of your golf bag and suspends it off the floor of your truck or SUV and locks it in place. The golf cradle prevents the chance of damaging your club as a result of sudden stops, potholes, or swerving. Its weighted base and rigid bottom ensure the golf cradle stays put. Simply place your golf bag on the golf cradle and the protection arms automatically close down to secure your bag. Then simply tighten the straps and lock it in place. Simple as making a tap-in birdie putt. To have an awesome device like the golf cradle for under $40 to protect hundreds and maybe thousands of golf equipment is a no-brainer. Check them out and order at golfcradle.com. Don't wait, your clubs will love you for it. golfcradle.com. Oh, did I mention what a great gift this would be for the golfer in your life? golfcradle.com. we are back, everybody, with a continuation of the best damn golf podcast in the country. You know what it is. The new Las Vegas SANDTRAP on Facebook Live with me, Dennis Silvers. We're talking with a great guest, two-time former world long drive champion and PGA instructor, excellent, Mr. Monty Scheinblum. Monty, there's a movement underway as of late that basically said the traditional golf lesson of 45 to 60 minutes is too damn long, too much information for the student, that they believe the golf lesson should be 15 or 20 minutes. What are your thoughts on that?
It's funny you say that. Most of my lessons last about 15 or 20 minutes, sometimes even 5, and then it turns into a 45 or 50 minute, discussion about how their family's doing, how they're, how they doing at work, where's the next golf trip going to be, as I monitor their practice. So generally, I don't give up. So like if I start a lesson at 1 o'clock, not too much new information goes out after 1:15 or 1:20. So I would tend to agree with the information, but you have to kind of be there for an hour to make sure that they understand, what you've told them and what you've discussed. So essentially it turns into 15 minutes of instruction, 45 minutes of observed practice. So
okay, so let me get this straight. I'm paying you hundreds of dollars for a lesson, and you're giving me 5 minutes, and the rest of the time we're schmoozing about my family?
Well, I was kind of being a little tongue-in-cheek there. Like I said, it's observed practice is what the rest of the lesson is. Because quite honestly, golfers will fall immediately back into bad habits after one bad shot trying the new things. So that's what the last 45 minutes is really about.
No, I got you. I got you.
So if I say, look, because the biggest problem that amateur golfers face, and everything else pales in comparison, amateur golfers want to put too much emotional attachment on the last shot they just hit. Oh, I sliced that one. I must have done something wrong. And I'm really, really big on, what do you think you did wrong there? Oh, no. And I cut them off. I say, here's what we're working on. Do it better on the next swing.
Right.
And that would be your job, not switching from tip to tip and, idea to idea and feel to feel. It's okay. I've gotten a good piece of information, good shots, good days, bad shots, bad days. I'm just going to try and do better on the next one.
Right.
And that's the way to get better at golf, taking in one direction.
Yeah.
And for the last 45 minutes, I'm sitting there and making sure that they understood what I've said.
Right.
And they're maintaining that focus on the one thing.
Yeah. And that's a great way to end it. By the way, what would you charge me for a lesson, Monty? Do I get a media rate or something?
Oh, you'd get you get the pro bono rate.
I like that. Thank you very much, Mr. Scheinblum. At what point, Monty, should an instructor consider playing lessons for their student? And if you have a playing lesson, what do you like to emphasize in that playing lesson?
It's funny you asked that. If it were up to me, I would give 1 or 2 range/practice area lessons max, and then go straight out to the course after that. If it were up to me, I'd be giving a few range lessons per week, and I'd be out there with 3 clients at a time. I've learned that teaching people in groups actually has a greater learning curve. But if I could go out with a foursome, 3 clients play 9 holes 5 days a week. I would prefer to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really funny. I was discussing this with a client yesterday. Golfers view things backwards, and it's kind of ironic. On the driving range, they're working on improving move X, and all they do is get all upset. Oh, I hit that one fat. Oh, I hit that one thin. Well, that's not your focus. You know, you're focusing on a new movement and trying to improve the way you swing the golf club. So your focus is not hitting the ball well. Your focus is on moving better. And then hitting the ball well is a result.
All right.
Then they get out on the golf course and they hit a bad shot. Then they start obsessing over the incorrect movements. So it's backwards thinking.
Yeah.
You should be worried about your movements and not so much on the ball striking on the range. And on the golf course, you should be worried about where the ball is going and how you hit it, and not care much about the physical movements.
Right.
So when
I
I
agree.
get people out on the golf course, it's all about, you know, hit the ball solid, hit it out there somewhere, and then different ideas on how to approach. Well, you know, you might not want to hit a full 9-iron from here, you know, coming in with a little 8. Don't hit your wedges so hard.
Mm-hmm.
This miracle short game shot you tried, not going to happen too often.
Right.
Just hit it on the green, 2-putt for your bogey, move on.
Right.
Those kinds of.
I agree. I think that's well said. Monty, I know you're very multifaceted when it comes to the golf game overall, but what do you think of these instructors that people go to that I refer to as a one-stop shop? Not only do they give you swing mechanics, but they also get into the mental game. They also get into nutrition. They also get into fitness, club fitting, on and on and on. Because I'll tell you, my friend, I don't think you could do all of those things good all at once. You've got to concentrate on one. What do you think about that?
You know, I would have to agree. I mean, I do delve into mental approach, because how you mentally approach your practice and your play is very important. But we have a Cool Clubs trailer right on the driving range. They can do the fitting. You know, I might notice someone's grip is too big or too small, or their club is too upright or too flat. But anything past that, I'm going to leave it to the experts. And being a little overweight myself, I'm not a fitness or a nutrition expert, so I'm going to leave that to someone else as well. You know, you don't go, if you have a problem with your heart, you go to a cardiologist. You don't
Right.
go to an orthopedist.
Right.
You know, in my opinion, you have to have a baseline knowledge on some of these other things so you can answer basic questions. But as far as creating the program, I want someone who's more of an expert than I am to control that.
Well, I think it's very ironic, Monty, that you say you might be a little overweight and you're doing this interview in your kitchen. I think that's a little ironic. Anyway, let me ask you this before we take our second break, Monty. Biggest reasons the average weekend recreational player is not getting better?
There's 2 reasons, actually. One of them is they obsess over the previous shot they hit. Oh, I hooked it. I need to hold the face open. Oh, I pushed that one. I need to swing more to the left. Oh, I hit that one thin. I need to hit down on it. They're trying to adjust after every shot. And, you know, you ask a 25 handicapper, how you playing? He'll say, oh, I hooked my last shot. You ask a tour player how they're playing, they'll say, oh, my last 18 months, you know, moving in a positive direction.
Right.
That's the big one. And the second one is, quite honestly, the tried and true cliches of what makes a good golf swing are, I'm sorry to say, at best, they're misunderstood, and at worst, they're the opposite of what's correct.
Right. Right.
And, you hear the buddy saying, oh, roll your wrist more and you won't slice it. Oh, keep your head down and you won't top it. All of those. Oh, drop it in the slot and swing to right field. Hold that leg. All of those tried and true cliches have been proven to not just be, wrong, but actually in many cases the exact opposite of what's actually correct.
And that's what you do so darn well on your video presentations on YouTube. You dispel a lot of this stuff that you just mentioned, and it's really, really good, really enjoyable. All right, Monty, stay with us. We're going to take a second break, and before we go to commercials, we're going to have our weekly swing tip brought to you by Swing U. Pay attention because PGA Tour instructor Gary Gilchrist is with us, and you're going to learn from this guy. So we'll see you right on the other side. More with Monty Scheinblum coming up.
For those of you who want to create a lot more speed and power and hit the ball 10 to 15 yards longer, you need to get a wider backswing. So I came up with a motion drill called the ball push. This will allow you to take the club lower and longer back in the backswing. So I take my dress position, brush the ball back. So you can see I got a lot more width in the backswing, and now I come down and I hit the ball. I love this drill because I can feel that I create more lag in the downswing. So here I go. Wide, narrow, through. So there, I actually could feel how quick my body rotated through the ball, and I hit that ball thin. So you can see straight away there's more speed through impact. So work on the ball push. You'll see your ball going a long way. Go home and practice these drills and send us your progress so we can give you a development plan that will help your game for the rest of your life.
If you're like me and play golf, let's face it, you want to get better, right? Getting better at golf means taking lessons, and these days you have a whole lot to choose from when it comes to instruction. Or do you? It seems everyone and their brother teaches golf. That's why you need to know who and why you're investing your time and money with. If you really want to improve as a player, the choice is simple. PGA Tour instructor Mike Malaska, long recognized as one of the top instructors in the country, is helping players on every level, every day. The online learning center is offered by MalaskaGolf.com. Mike's common sense approach to learning will help you overcome the issues you face on the course every time you play. Simply put, in order to play better golf, you need to understand it. Named National PGA Teacher of the Year, Top 100 Teacher of the Year for over 20 years running, Worldwide Director of the Nicklaus Golf Academies, well, you get the picture. Mike is awesome. If you're serious about improving your game, get started now. Check out MalaskaGolf.com and see for yourself what this program will do for you and your game. MalaskaGolf.com.
Did you know that over half our population suffers from allergies? There's a new, incredible way to treat allergies that don't involve shots, sprays, pills, or drops. All you do is brush your teeth. This new revolutionary treatment for allergies is only offered by allergy care centers. It's as simple as 1, 2, 3. You simply go to their office and speak to one of their doctors about any allergy history you may have. Then a simple finger stick is done with a few drops of blood placed on your patient card. It is then sent out to their laboratory where it's analyzed. This state-of-the-art test analyzes for 180 potential allergens. After consultation, a prescription is sent to their pharmacy where a specialized serum is mixed with toothpaste, and you simply start to brush your allergies away. It's amazing. So stop suffering with your allergies. This is great for patients of all ages, especially kids. Call Allergy Centers at 702-331-5230.
What's up, everyone? I'm Ryan Rustan.
And I'm Josh Kelly, and we're on the course with Swing U,
the top-rated GPS, scorecard, and game improvement app.
That's right, guys. Get distances to greens, hazards, live wind speed and elevation adjustments, even shot tracking and club recommendations. You can track your scores, stats, and handicaps for free.
Check out our massive library of lessons and drills from top 25 teachers, or get one-on-one training from your personal Swing U golf coach.
So join over 4 million golfers
And download the free Swing U app today.
And we are back. We're wrapping up this edition of the New Vegas SANDTRAP right here on Facebook Live, having a great conversation with Monty Scheinblum, who teaches in Southern California, and I'm going to make sure that he gives you his information in case you happen to be in that area and you're looking to play and take some lessons. He's the guy to go to. Monty, what's the commonality of problems that you see most people come to you for?
It's funny you ask that. I get a very specific group of golfers for most of my clients. I have some juniors, I have some good players, some elite players, and I have some high handicappers. But I'd say close to 75% of my clients are the 4 to 12 handicappers that are sick and tired of what they've heard, what they've been taught, and they want a new perspective. And the biggest issue, it's kind of two different things, but it turns into one thing, is way too many of them are swinging too far out to the right, and their arms and hands are trailing the rotation in their body way too much. And they've been told time and time again for the last 30, 40, 50 years, oh, it's a body-driven swing. Your arms and hands are passive. They need to be behind you, and you need to drop it in the slot and swing to right field. And they all have the same two-way miss. They hit a block when they hit it well, or they hook it trying not to hit a block.
Okay.
And I'd say well over 50% of my clients fall into that category.
Sounds like to me that they're a little remiss in first syncing up the arms and body, and it sounds like they might be sliding a little bit too much money rather than rotating.
Absolutely. I get so many sliders, and a lot of instructors today are in the technology is evil category,
right.
Camp. And it has its uses. You can't rely on it completely. Like if you have a guy with a TrackMan launch monitor, a FlightScope launch monitor, with the PGA Tour averages chart in front of him and says, oh, your angle of attack is not in the PGA Tour average. We need to fix that. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. And too many people do that. But what's good for me is when I say, okay, you're swinging too far from the inside out. And they're like, but Monty, you're supposed to do that. You're supposed to drop it in the slot and swing to right. I said, I understand. But, I can put them on the launch monitor and say, look, to hit a nice draw, you want your swing path to be, 2 to 5 degrees to the right. And then I have them swing and they're 12, 15 degrees to the right. And I go, okay, now we can get rid of all that technical data and just say, you're swinging too far to the right because, as you said, Dennis, your arms aren't linked up. They're too far behind you. And then they're like, but Monty, they hit like a 3-yard draw. And they're like, but Monty, this is over the top. And then I turn the launch monitor back on and it says 4 degrees to the right. And they're like, okay, well, maybe this isn't over the top. And they hang their head. To me, that's the proper use of technology. It's not something that you use as a crutch. It's something to justify your ideas to the person in front of you and confirm what you're telling them is not a load of BS.
Right. Monty, do you think that the average weekend player really takes advantage of what's in the club and ball technology? Because I don't. I think you've got to be at a pretty high level really to start taking advantage of all the technology today. Do you agree?
Well, I'm going to have to disagree a little bit because, you hand a 25 handicapper with a big slice that has an old steel driver with a steel shaft in it, and you give him one of those big heads with a lighter graphite shaft, they hit the ball farther and they don't slice it as much without much change in their swing.
Yeah.
So I hear where you're coming from. The higher the level player, the more benefit that you're going to get from a proper club.
Right.
I just had one, and it was a huge help to me. But there is some benefit for higher handicap. But I agree with you. The better you are, the more benefit that you're going to get. But players of every skill level will get some benefit.
Good, because this is my show and you're not supposed to disagree with the host. Okay, anyway, tell us, we've only got a couple of minutes left. Tell us about your facility and how people can get a hold of you, Monty, if they want to come see you and get their game together.
Well, I teach at Oak Creek Golf Club in Irvine, and it is the finest grass driving range and chipping green practice facility within, other than one of those $500,000 clubs we have around here. At a public facility, it is the nicest practice facility you can find and a very good golf course. As far as me, my website is rebelliongolf.com, and on there you can find out how to book a regular lesson, an online lesson, or how to attend one of my 10 plus golf schools that I have around the country and in the UK.
Excellent. Anyway, Monty, love having you on. You're just a great teacher, a great guy, and we'd like to have you back sooner than later, obviously. We wish you well, and again, thanks for all your generous time.
Thank you, Dennis. And before we go, I just want to say one thing. I really appreciate people like you that are calling out what they feel to be the inadequacies in the golf industry. And a lot of people are afraid to do it, and you're not. And I just want to say there are a lot of us out there that, appreciate you, directing, like, this needs to change. This is no good. And we appreciate that.
Well, that means a lot to me coming from somebody like you. Monty, again, thank you, and we'll talk to you soon, my friend.
Thanks, Dennis.
Take care. Monty Scheinblum, great guy, everybody. Make sure you tune in because we're back here next week, same time, same place. We've got a wonderful guest for you, Mr. Josh Lesnick, who is president of Kemper Sports and Kemper Lesnick. So make sure you catch that show. All right, that's going to wrap it up for this edition of the New Vegas SANDTRAP right in Facebook Live. So for Monty Scheinblum, I'm Dennis Silvers, wishing all of you fairways and greens, everybody, and we'll see you back next time. So long.